My initial goal from the very beginning was to fight this case and prove my innocence, because I did not do this. This obviously happened in 2022. We are in 2025. Hi, Access Hollywood. Come get ready with us for the premiere of my new show, Gen NYC. We're gonna do some finishing touches. I'm so excited. We're in for a real treat. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And this is my amazing glam team, so come finish up with me. I'm very excited. Nervous. It's nerve-wracking, you know, I haven't done this in a few years, since I was like 17, and now I'm like a whole grown woman. Gia called me last year and she was like, I'm doing this show in New York and you're doing it with me. Now, she introduced me to Brooks, and then the rest is history. It's my closest friends on the show are Gia, Brooks, and Riley. I definitely and Amira, but I met Amira through the show. We have Ava as well, who's on the show, Georgia, Charlie, obviously my boyfriend Hudson, and Shy. I definitely am in the hot seat quite a bit. I tend to get into it. I have a problem where I insert myself into so many situations that I do not need to be involved in whatsoever. But I definitely get into it with Charlie, you know, a few times. He's kind of like very unapologetic for everything he does and says. And then I get into it a little bit with a few other people as well.
Who is the villain?
Charlie. You know, everybody gets into it with Charlie. He is, like I've said before, the Scott Disick of our show. He definitely has a lot to say, and maybe not the best way. The biggest shocker is that a lot of people have a different idea of what the last couple of years of my life have been, and there's definitely a lot of honesty when it comes to money and when it just comes to my life over the last couple of years, and I would say that's the biggest shock, I guess, that people are gonna be really surprised with. Everybody loves that we're Nepo babies. I don't think that it's I'm okay to admit that. Would I be able to do a reality show on Bravo if my mom wasn't on Housewives of Atlanta? Probably not. But I look at it as a blessing instead of it being like a bad thing.
Totally, you're proud of it.
I'm like, okay, my mom, I'm blessed my mom put me in this place to be able to do this. No tables were flipped, but it was pretty close.
How involved are the moms in the drama?
My mom is personally not involved in any drama, and I don't think that, I have no idea. I feel like if anybody, the most involved would be Meredith, Miss Marks. I feel like she's just, I see her the most. I feel like I see her at events all the time too, so I just feel like to me, she's like, my mom lives in Atlanta. She's not here. Riley's mom lives in Atlanta too. She's not here. And Teresa, I don't see very often either.
And it's date night.
Yes.
How excited are you to go with your boyfriend Hudson?
Hudson and I, filming the show was honestly a really fun thing and helped our relationship kind of blossom in a different way. We've never done this together. This was his first time filming and doing TV, and we had a blast. I'm so excited to see what he's wearing. I don't even know yet. I'm like, you have to match me though.
You didn't coordinate?
I tried to tell him. He was originally planning to wear brown pants, and I'm like, I am wearing black or metallic. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. But anytime I just have him with me, you know, I feel like everything's gonna be great and we just have the best time.
You have so much natural beauty, but what's been the conversation in your home growing up around plastic surgery?
My mom was like, my mom always said when it came to plastic surgery, if you want it, do it. You know, you're beautiful the way you are. You don't need to change anything. But if you want to get your tits done, if you want to blow your lips up, if you want to get some cheek filler, if you want to do whatever, do it. Like whatever makes you happy. It was never something to be like afraid of. I think first time I got my lips done was like on my 18th birthday. And I was like, perfect. And I have gotten them dissolved twice and redid them because I got completely out of hand and was walking around looking like a duck and migrating like to up here. Now I got my lips dissolved again about a year and a half ago. And now I've only done them like once, I think. Well, maybe like once and a half. I haven't got them done in a year though. So that's why I did the lip flip. I was like, pull me up so that I don't have to inject my lips anymore. I don't need any more, but it's like lip dysmorphia is what I call it. People have always said like, you look so different, you've had so much work done. I think a lot of people forget though that I lost 40 pounds and that changed my face drastically, obviously, and my body. And the biggest difference though for me in anything I've ever gotten done was masseter Botox because my face used to be very protruding right here in my jaw, and that changed my life because I grind my teeth really bad, I get lockjaw really bad, my jaw pops every time I open it. So the second I did that, it really slimmed down my face right here. I've never gotten cheek filler. Everyone loves to say that. I'm like, they would be more filled out right here, which they might be next week. But this week they are not filled right here. But I really haven't gotten a lot of work done. I did facial balancing with like 1 syringe of filler. So it was like very minute, and I was very honest about that. I'm not ashamed to say anything, you know. I don't want people to think like, listen, I got Botox last week. Okay, my forehead does crinkle usually. This week it's not. Give me 6 weeks, it probably will be.
I love that you're so honest.
It
Honestly,
is what
this
it
is what we need.
That's what I want to be. I want people to feel and know like this is not what I would look like. My lips would be literally paper thin if I never got my lip filler, and I feel like lip filler can change your whole entire face. Honestly, I was always kind of a little heavier set. I look back at pictures now and I'm like, get sad because I was never as big as I thought, and I was like so mean to myself, you know, which sucks. But I think it made me actually do what I needed to do when COVID happened. It was my senior year of high school and I finally got some time. We were not filming Don't Be Tardy. I had a lot of just time. I was at home, I couldn't leave my house, so I really buckled down, and I was in a caloric deficit, and I ran anywhere from 3 to 5 miles a day outside with a waist trainer on in the blaring heat, which is maybe not the best. Looking back, I used to call my friend, come pick me up right now, I'm about to die. I'm on the side of the road, I'm about to die. But it worked, and it took me about a year to fully, you know, lose everything, and I was just started eating healthy. I don't drink soda anymore at all. I drink Poppy and like all those probiotic sodas or whatever. But it definitely took some time, but it was the best thing I ever did, and I still work out every day now, and it's really changed my life and just my confidence and like the way I feel. Because I started filming first when I was 5 years old, I feel like growing up in front of the cameras wasn't like abnormal to me, because that's kind of all I ever knew, which I know sounds like a little bit ridiculous and sounds like I have like a big head, which I don't. I'm not literally anything, but I just felt normal. I just felt like I know how to do this. This is what like I grew up around. I watched my mom do it for forever. I did it when I was so young, and I think it's just what I know.
Is there anything you wish wasn't on national TV?
There is, you know, I guess not something that I don't wish, but there is a scene on Don't Be Tardy when I am, I think 16 or 17, and I'm trying on my homecoming dress, and I have like a total fit, and I just like start like breaking down about being fat and not feeling confident. And at the time I was so embarrassed of that, and I look back at that now and people still message me and tell me like how much it helped them for me to not be afraid to show that side of me and show what I was going through, and that it's normal to not be comfortable in your body. So I think I really regretted that for a while, and I'm so happy though that it is out there and that I could help people, you know, just know that you're not alone. Like, I'm still having a fit before I leave my house when I put on my outfit, don't worry.
It's very relatable.
I know, and that's what I want. I just want to help people, and if that's the way that I could, then I'm grateful for that. As of right now, there does not seem to be any reconciling, is that the word, of my mom and Croy. I don't think that anything has changed as far as that, and it's still on a pretty messy, aggressive divorce.
How have you dealt with the tabloid reports and all that? Their disputes being made public?
To be honest, I really don't read any tabloid reports because I think it just like gives me so much anxiety and stresses me out. I don't need to know what's out there or like what's going on. It just kind of gets a lot for me because it's already a lot actually dealing with it and knowing the truth. I think people have a very different narrative than what's actually going on. The things that I do see is like on TikTok, I'll be like scrolling and it's like body cam footage from my parents' house. I'm like, oh my Lord, what? I'm like, what is going on? What happened? My mom's like, they left an hour ago. I don't even know how it's like out. And I think that's kind of what I mostly see. And you know, nobody really actually knows what's going on or is there to deal with it like we are. So I think just kind of relying on my family and being there for my mom as much as I can.
Where do you stand with Croy?
You know, Croy is my dad. He adopted me. He was really my best friend growing up. I was very close with him, really over my mom. My mom and sister were kind of like very close, and then me and my dad were really close. I think it's definitely been really hard throughout this divorce to not feel a little bit angry, quite a bit angry and upset with him, fighting for full custody with my mom. I think it's just the most insane thing I've ever heard, and just some of the things that have been happening. But I try to not let their divorce affect my relationship with either of them, but it's definitely harder on my dad's side, for sure.
This week, you were sentenced after your DUI in 2022. What was your reaction when you heard the news?
Well, so my initial goal from the very beginning was to fight this case and prove my innocence, because I did not do this. This obviously happened in 2022. We are in 2025. And I've denied multiple plea deals. They finally gave me a deal to dismiss my DUI and let it go. And I just pled guilty to a traffic ticket. which is fine. And then I just have to do 6 months of no drinking. No, I don't do drugs, so no drugs as well. And I've already completed everything else in the last couple of years because my initial goal was to go to court and go to trial and fight it. But that would be another 2 years, and I'm not. I mentally like don't have it in me to continue to deal with it.
How do you deal with all the tabloids reporting all this news this week?
I'm like, I don't, it's like my heart's like beating out of my chest right now because I've never talked about it. I haven't legally been allowed to talk about it for 3 years. I don't read them. I can't. This situation brings me so much anxiety, and I'm the number one person to say don't drink and drive. It's the stupidest thing you can do, in my opinion. There's never a reason for it. And I don't read it. People don't know the story and the truth, and God knows, my family knows, my friends know I didn't do this, and that's enough. It has to be enough. Now I'm gonna put on tonight's look, get snatched. Stay tuned. She is the final look. Oh my gosh, hopefully I don't step on my skirt tonight. But this is her. Top to bottom, shoes, jewelry, hand gloves. Here we are, we're ready to go. Bye Access Hollywood. Thanks for getting ready with me, and I'll see you at the premiere.